I call this dream Adam and Eve because it reminds me of that old biblical story. In this dream, I'm once again helping my brother, Uran, with one of his ideas or experiments. This was at a time when he had already developed the longevity drug, i.e. the cure to aging. His desire to keep both the plants and the process secret meant that he'd found a special place to grow his plants. The place was beautiful. He'd created a massive stone block wall to surround the area. There was no doorway to access it from the ground. It could only be reached from above, which of course is how we came and went. The air transportation device at this time consisted of an adjustable lighter-than-air buoyancy device combined with propulsion. It was very elegant and comfortable, but not as fast as the devices that were to come were of a future time. Anyway, this place was Uran's special garden. It was where he grew plants from around the world for food and other things. He would also go there just to think or to get away from everyone. The only people who had ever been taken to this place were his closest family. So that included our parents, me, and his wife, Haya. He kept his laboratory or workshop underground. The shaft to access it was about 100 feet deep. An elevator system was in place for access. It worked on the same buoyancy principles as the flying machines. The elevator was at the center of a beautiful building that had all the conveniences of home. It was a pleasure to go there. I would go with him regularly because I enjoyed it. I would help him where I could, but I was also studying at that time, so it was a great place for that. He had devices in place to monitor it all, but when he was not there, he always felt like there should be someone there just to look after things. That is when he had one of these, let's say, extreme ideas. He was trying to work out how to help the primitive people without interfering with them. He wondered if he educated some of them with ways to make their lives easier, as well as teaching them about being peaceful, then they would pass this knowledge to others. He worked out all the things he wanted to teach them about agriculture, personal hygiene, cloth making without needing to hurt animals, and things like that. And in exchange, they could take care of his garden, e.g. keep the paths clear, etc. But why take them to his private garden, you may wonder. He had already banned any interaction or interference with primitive people, without his permission, of course. He thought his people may not understand what he was doing and basically think that he was a hypocrite. But he did think, well, what if he put them in his secret garden while he educated them? This idea he liked. So he set up an area in the main building just for the needs and education of two people, and he set about finding the perfect pair. He wanted a male and female, a pair that were already committed to each other, but without children. Not easy to find in those days because most people had children as soon as they possibly could. Uran and I spent time watching the primitive groups until we found a suitable possibility. The couple were about maybe 15 or 16 years of age. Sounds young, but in their world, that was about half of their full expected life. 30 was really old then. Uran did not want the complication of them having children during his experiment because it would distract from their learning, and he didn't want to be responsible for any babies. We talked to these two people and invited them to go with us. It had to be voluntary, and they needed to know why. He explained as best he could to them that they would never want for food, but they had to be willing to learn and to help out in the garden. They were told that there would be no babies while they were in the garden. He emphasized the education they would receive and said he wanted them to become more like him, or at least more like Tantals, since genetically there really was no difference. Upon introducing ourselves and putting forth the proposition, they were told to return to their people and tell them that they were going to be going away for 5 years, but that they would return after that. They were asked to give their people no more details. We arranged to meet again the following day, alone, it must be alone, and then they could come with us. We let them see us leave in our flying machine, which we don't normally do, and they looked intrigued, not frightened. If they returned the following day alone, then we knew it would be all okay. But they must have told someone, because we knew from our equipment that there were people hiding and waiting. That worried Uran, and we did not appear to them. We didn't know if the people hiding just wanted to see us, or if they intended violence upon us. Either way, it was not okay. We abandoned the attempt.